All right, so I'm going through more things with my cat. Um, as things change, as our relationship and getting to know each other progresses, we're learning things. And one thing I find really valuable about this is it's bringing up stuff inside of me. And due to my insight, my experience, I'm able to see how it relates to relationships in real life, and it's really helping me. This cat really helped me in so many different ways. So she's around 2 years old now. She'll be starting to become around 2 years old. And cats go through the terrible twos as well. So the 2-year-old cat is in its essentially like a human in its early 20s. That's kind of like where they're at developmentally. So, what do we have when we're in our early 20s? We're like testing our boundaries. We're getting into our autonomy, right? We're seeing where we can go in the world. We're finding out who we are. We're kind of putting something out there and seeing what comes back. We're getting curious. We're exploring. We want to know things about who we are and how the world works. And that's what's happening with Maurice. And so, two things that have been coming up for me with this cat have been essentially balancing needs between two parties in a relationship and also repairing after a rupture, right? This is the most important thing about any relationship. How can we come back together after something has kind of caused us problems? Now, most people, I would say almost like all the people who have been in my life in a long term fashion, are people who I've been through a rupture with and we've come back from it already. That to me is a true sign of the kind of person I'm interested in having in my life. Somebody who can reflect on their own behavior, somebody who is aware of what they expect, and if I cross their boundaries, they can let me know in a respectful manner. Um, yeah, that's like so important to me. Now, we can't really do that with a cat. So there's a couple of things that come up. So, anyway, what happened? So, as I mentioned in the previous video, we have a new neighbor living in our balcony beside us. There is a concrete divider she likes to sit on top of and look out at the trees. Now she's sitting on top of the concrete and facing the building, looking in and spying on them all day and night. Well, they put this beautiful planter out yesterday, and it's got like it's on kind of like stilts, and so now she likes to go and sit under the planter and spy on them. And it was really cute. Like 2 days ago, she was outside pretty late, and I went to the balcony screen and I just did I made some little mewling sounds, some sad little mewling sounds like Mickey, Mickey. Like I made these little crying mewling kitten sounds. And she got up off the divide and came down and came through the door and came and nestled herself against my leg. It was like so cute, you know. And I think it is proof that cats do think of us as their children. Like we're here taking care of them, but no, they think of us as like they got to take care of us. That's why she tried to bring a bird into the house the other day. Um, I don't want to say it was hysterical. It was different and interesting. And what is a bird? Like it's like a captured the captured intensity of life into this little thing that bursts with sound and color and flight, right? A bird is such a it's a miracle. It's like a flame come to life. And I was in my room working and I heard it. I heard the sound that I know, which is abruptly stopped birdsong. You know, tweet, 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 tweet. And I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. I said, this cannot be real. So I ran to the balcony, and there she was. And she was just about to stick her head through the cat door with a bird in her mouth. So what did I do? I closed the balcony patio door. I'm like, no, you're not bringing that in here. And I could see the look on her face was like hurt and confusion, like, what? Like I've never closed the balcony door on her before. She's always been able to come through. And I guess she thought I'd be excited for this bird she was holding. And I'm like, no, I'm like, put it down. And I know what happens when a cat's got something in its mouth and you try to get them to let it go. It's just going to kill it even more dead, you know? So after she realized she could not come through the cat door with the bird in her mouth, she gave the bird a little bit of a quick chew and then put it down on the ground. And at that point, I opened the balcony, she jumped through, and then I went out to go attend to the bird, which unfortunately, of course, was dead. So sad. For nothing, you know? And I don't know how she could have gotten this bird because I don't think, and that made me really question things because, I wanted to put like a hummingbird feeder out there. I wanted to put some like plants and like some things, like maybe some fountains to encourage the squirrels or the birds to come visit. But like, I'm not doing that now. She's just gonna kill them all. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, female cats are actually much better hunters than the male cats as well. Um, yeah, this is a documented kind of phenomenon. They have to be hyper vigilant, right? Just like normal women, we have to be hyper vigilant to danger and opportunities because we are weaker and more vulnerable. And the female cat's more weaker and more vulnerable because of babies. So anyway, she's gonna catch anything that comes out there. Um, so that was one little interesting story we had between us. So last night, she went over and hopped over the divide and she's down there under the planter. And I'm like, Miki, I tried the mewing. I tried the crying. She couldn't care less. She's like, nope. So I'm like, what is going on? So I went and I looked and she was like intensely up against the neighbor's window. So they got the other cats in there now and she's like looking at them and communicating with them telepathically and, and everything else through the window. She has lost any and all interest in me completely. I tried offering her sobrecitos. She knows this word, sobrecitos. It means wet cat food in Spanish, like little packets. Nope. She knows the word sobrecitos. She comes running. Nope. I tried taking her treats and shaking them. Nope. I tried calling her harshly. Nope. And I'm like, okay, she's just going to ignore me. And there's nothing I can do about it. I thought about like taking the broom and like scaring her or something to get her to come home, but I was like, this is getting ridiculous. And it's the neighbor's balcony, and whatever I do, they're gonna see. And yeah, I was just like, let's just leave it. And also, like, I didn't really want to put clothes on. You guys know me. I just, I'm like, all right, I tried. And so, let me check the time here. All right. I was thinking, I'm like, so here's the thing. If I lock the balcony door, she cannot come in. Okay, so the screen door has to be like kind of, available for her to jump through to get into the house. And I mean, I gotta be honest, I wish to the heavens and the earth and gods above that I could just leave the screen door open. I love the feeling of just like being free and like not worrying about security or like, anything like that. It would be really cool if I could have, maybe an apartment on the top floor of something that was impossible to reach. And I would leave all the windows and doors open all the time. And I would walk around with no clothes on all the time. But you can't do that. And as I mentioned in the other videos, I thought it was just women who lived across the way, but I saw a man out there the other day. And he saw me with little to no clothing on. And not only that, even if it was just women, as you all know, I do not trust women's judgment of men. So they could have men over to their house who would, oh yeah, I can just hop this balcony, come over here, and who knows what else could happen, right? So I don't take chances like that. And I'm like, she's just gonna have to stay out there. At this point, it was like maybe 12:30, and I had already stayed up late enough, and I'm like, I need to go to bed. So yeah, I tried calling her one last time. She didn't come, so I locked her out. And it was already cold outside. And I'm like, I know it's going to get much colder, right? Right now it's beautiful day. It's 31 degrees. The standing bamboo in the field across is like waving in the breeze. I've got the beautiful tree with the berries and little apples on it. I got a message on my phone from my friend inviting me to her theater performance for Dia de los Muertos this weekend, and I'm just stoked. You know, but at the nights and the mornings are cold now, like officially cold. There are 2 months in this city where I pray to God for a space warmer. But they're expensive, and as I mentioned, you're just gonna use it for literally 2 months. So I don't know. I just wear my wool socks. I put my alpaca blanket on the bed. I take a super hot shower before bed, and yeah, that kind of gets me through. Oh, and by the way, when I say it's freezing cold, I mean it's 21 degrees. Yesterday, I was like, man, it's so freezing cold. I'm like, let me check what temperature it is. 21. Oh, I have no idea how I could ever go back to Canada at this point. I was looking at a picture of it on Reddit, and it was like car pile up, snow, brown, gray, sky with no sun. And I was like, no matter how much I complain about living here, that I can wake up and put on my little skater shoes and my dress and go walk down the street and get some vitamin D directly on me and hear these beautiful leaves and see these hummingbirds every day and these bright colors and these flowers and this fruit. Like, that alone is worth any other thing, to me. Anyway, so with Maurice, I was really disappointed. Like, I felt like she had found something more interesting this was much more important than anything I had going on. And I'm like, oh, now I understand the feeling of parents when the kids got to pull away. And I was thinking of her needs. She has a need for, going with her curiosity, right? She's kind of just cooped up in here with me all day. She gets to watch the windows and the gâteau flicks, but yeah. Now she has potentially some friends, so that would be super cool. But I also have a need for security. I have a need to, be able to lock the doors so I can sleep at night, not worry about waking up to some weird dude in here or something like that. So I think, yeah, so actually I locked her out. I went to bed, and then around 2:30, I'm like, oh, okay, Miki. So I went and let her in. So anyway, I think from now on, I'm just going to make sure she's not outside after a certain time. Because it's like, I think like right around the time when I take my shower is when I would go in the shower, anyway, yeah, when I go in the shower is when she goes out there. So before I go in the shower, I'm going to lock the house up for the night. And I always liked to leave that patio open so that the hot, like, air from the shower would go out. But anyway, now it's going to have to be closed. And yeah, so this morning, or this, like, just a few hours ago, I accidentally stepped on her little toe for the first time. And we've been living together for almost a year, and it's never happened. And I wear flip-flops around the house, and she follows me at my ankle usually. I don't know what happened this time, but she did that whole quick thing, and run away. And I felt so guilty, so sad. And then I tried to apologize, but she wouldn't come out from under the bed. So then I went and got the sobrecitos. And so she came back and she forgave me. And I just thought, it's so lovely to be forgiven. And the thing is that she, because we have this history together of almost a year, she knows that I didn't do it on purpose. She knows that it's not a pattern. And she knows that it's unlikely it will happen again. And she also learned, hey, I kind of have to watch where I'm going. around people's feet. Because I noticed when she came around next time, she forgave me, but she kept a bit more distance from my feet. So I feel like this is something we can all learn about in relationships. Like in my last relationships, it was, oops, sorry, oops, sorry, oops, sorry, oops, sorry. And I'm like, this is not sorry, this is a pattern. And this is a person apologizing for a way that they naturally are that does not work for me. So now I know you can find people who are naturally and who are happy to be the way that works for you or brings you pleasure. You don't have to, if you're like me, you come from a background where you had to school people, raise people, explain basic decency. Like, this is what you look for in a relationship, but it doesn't have to be like that. You can find someone who is already the ways that you want them to be, and you just have to feel worthy of that. For example, my new friend Valentine, when I went to his workshop over the past 2 days, I got to witness excellence and mastery. I'm like, this guy is a master of, delivering a workshop, but also all of the details. Like, it was just perfect. Like, I took I think it was like $900 or $2,000, I can't remember, training course on how to be a professional speaker in Calgary. And we learned all these different elements. And he incorporated all of these into his workshop. Just everything was there. He had stuff that was shared. He had, crowd engagement. He had group work. He had props. He had, funny stories. And he paid attention to the environment, like he was asking people if they're comfortable, because like when I went to my other friend's event, she had the air conditioning blasting for a whole hour and everybody was freezing, for example, and my friends who I invited complained to me about it. And I'm like, you're telling me I was freezing too. But anyway, so yeah, like, just like, and I really, really love that. I really, really admire that. And competence is one of my love languages. Somebody who is like very good at what they do. This is what I admire. So whether it be, like if you do makeup, are you on time? Do you know everything about the products that you're using? Do you adapt it in the moment? Can you help the person have an experience that, benefits their day and that actually they look back on and it benefits their life? Like, I love seeing this kind of excellence. And some people are intimidated by it, like my ex. And some people, they don't care about stuff like that, So that's where we are in this rant. Yeah. Oh, and my cat is being so, 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 so cute lately. Like, I don't know why she's become extra cuddly. Like, it gave me some kind of weird thing. I'm like, does she know I'm gonna die soon or something? I'm like, what changed that she's like extra cuddly? Maybe because it's cold. I don't know. But she started cuddling me differently. Like, um, it's so adorable that it's like I can't even barely talk about how cute it is. So like I give her a hug. I tell her how to give a hug. So I'll pick her up and I'll put it so that one of her arms is on either side of my neck. So she's legit giving me a hug and I'm giving her a hug. It's very cute. And then now what she's been doing is she'll kind of massage me, like she'll knead my back. But now she's been like pulling me in, like with her hands, like, pulling me in closer for a hug and then like smashing her face up against me like I'm a teddy bear or, or something. Like, it's so cute. So I'm like, I don't know why this cat loves me so much. And of course, I told you, at the back of my mind, there's a chapter on this in The Road Less Traveled about people, deriving pride from the treatment they get from those that are beholden to them, right? Essentially, I'm keeping this cat a prisoner. If you have a kid, essentially you're kind of keeping them a prisoner. So it's like, I mean, how much stock can we put in this? I don't know. She had the opportunity to run away, and if I didn't feed her, would she still be hugging me and sticking around? I mean, I don't know. you know, a cat has, but in this moment, it's working for both of us. She was on the street. She had a son, and her son got killed, and so she was out there by herself. I can't imagine her being out there in the torrential rains with the neighbor trying to poison them, and the dogs coming here. Cats get eaten, killed by dogs here all the time. I've seen it, and yeah, so I'm happy for her and that she has expanded her universe by being involved with a human, right? Because now she's with a human, it's like her brain is developing in different ways, and it's like she's becoming more conscious because now she's like, oh, I am Maurice, right? Before, she never thought of herself like that, right? She just, well, of course we don't know, but now she's like, oh, I am Maurice, I have a name, I come when my name is called, right? Ooh, man, that's like developing consciousness. And she's like, this is mine, right? She's possessive of things. I like this, I don't like that. Oh, interesting, right? So, yeah, it's like very fascinating. I'm going to end this here. And please like, comment, share, or it's like kind of a weird video to share. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and thanks for listening.